I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
It won't make a difference at all, Jake, and that is for Donald Trump to be the ringleader of and invite all his clowns to a place like the Bronx. New York will never, ever support Donald Trump.
I tell you what, New York should be ashamed, absolutely ashamed. I am especially pissed off at the state of New York, and I'll tell you why. They don't have a justice system. You can't take them seriously. The state of New York, the great New York Police Department, arrested an illegal alien. They had him in there. They arrested him. The justice system of New York refused to prosecute this guy, this monster. Then he came to Georgia and he killed our girl, Laken Riley. So you want to tell me that we're supposed to take the court system in New York serious?
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring. And George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil. Chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati. I'm good at the various things that I tell you are part of my profession. I'm a recording engineer, and I was so good at that it made me a hip-hop legend and an underground rock and roll hero. Because I was able to rub elbows with some rock and rollers and therefore become a rock and roll hero in the underground rock and roll scene. But you got people who are career politicians that are not good at their career, or not good in a way that benefits their constituents, which they're supposed to be helping. They are total trash, total garbage, failures in life, losers. These are people are schmucks that smell bad and would be stinking up their mom's basement if it wasn't for politics. They have like no social skills. They're just all around garbage. They're the type of people that deserve their wedgies, if you know what I mean. They're like totally silly people. And their outrage that Donald Trump won is music to my ears. Personally. Their outrage when Donald Trump was closing in on the win. It's music to my ears. The outrage of Chuck Schumer because the Supreme Court
wouldn't mandate permission to end the life of in the womb. Music to my ears, whirlwinds and all. And Chuck Schumer is obviously a career politician. He's been in office since the 90s. That's a long time ago. The 90s are a long time ago. This guy, he's going on 3 decades, okay? Dude's going on 3 decades of being in office. And we had a much better senator in place before he took over. Al D'Amato was a much better senator. He spoke more for the people than this hunk of trash, schmuck Schumer. Unlike Chuck Schumer, Al D'Amato did not eat raw, rancid meat and try to melt the cheese on top of this raw, rancid meat on a grill and then take a photo of it in an effort to humanize himself for the constituents. He simply did a good job that got him elected and reelected. This guy, he gets to keep his job because I'll just go ahead and say it. Some of these Republicans, especially in these blue states, there are Republicans in blue states, but some of them are just wimps, and they just won't put up a fight against them. They'll put up some half-ass fight. They won't go and take to the streets of New York City. They won't come to neighborhoods. Al D'Amato came into Brooklyn, okay? He came into the Brooklyn streets. You would see Al D'Amato, the New York senator, walking around Avenue U with his wife. You would see that. You would see former Mayor Rudy Giuliani, when he was mayor, serving as mayor, walking into Barry Pork Store on West 7th and Avenue U. And you can't tell me he never did that, because people have taken pictures with him and put it on the dashboards of their vehicles and such. Okay? So, Republicans that have some brass in their trousers aren't afraid to go out there and mingle with the people because they're doing a good job for the people. Okay? They don't give people a reason to be pissed off at them because, their pockets are jangling and jangling when these Republicans are in office. I'm not talking about mob bosses and snakes from inner city cable, like who the Democrats help to make rich. I'm talking about the common man, the common blue-collar guy that the Republicans look out for. So, yeah, we had a much better senator prior to Chuck Schumer. But Chuck Schumer's a schmuck that needs to go. And I tell you, I hope Mike Sapricone learned from this experience running against Gillibrand, throws his hat right back into the ring and runs against Chuck Schumer. And I hope he learned from past lesson. You got to go out there and campaign hard. He did not campaign hard enough. Let's be real. He did not campaign hard enough. And he could yell at me all he wants if he sees this. He could say bad things about me, but people have eyes. People have eyes. If Gillibrand was invisible, which he was right to say, then he invented the word invisible-er. There are Republicans I shake my head in disappointment at. But that could be reversed. This man can run against Schumer and fight a harder campaign than he did against Gillibrand and win. It's a winnable campaign. I don't want to have to do it myself. I don't know who would run against Governor Hochul, the huckster. Nicole Maliotakis just won re-election for her seat in Congress. I think she'd make a great governor. I think she would make a great executive, a great top executive for New York State. But we'd be losing a congressperson. There's a little double-edged sword right there. Steve Chan just got elected. He's got a clean house in his new office. And he's got to do at least 2 or 3 terms to really gut that office out and clean things up in there. Yuan Chu has caused so much seemingly unreputable damage, or irreparable, however the word goes. I'm a smart guy. So this is where we're at here. This is where we're at. And if you look in our city streets, you see crime. Democratic mayor, Democratic governor, 2 Democratic senators, Democrats holding all types of seats in Congress with very few strongholds. Couple of congressional seats in Long Island are Republican. Couple of congressional seats upstate are Republican. But the one Republican in the whole 5 boroughs, and there's a lot of congressional districts within New York City, the one Republican in the whole 5 boroughs holding a congressional seat is my Congresswoman, Nicole Maliotakis. And I would hate to see her go and not leave it to somebody that's as capable and competent as she is. But at the same time, I do believe she would make a good governor. So her congressional term that she just won re-election on would be up again in 2 years. And there's the fork in the road. I don't live inside the woman's head, so I don't know if she would go re-election to Congress or step all the way up and run for governor against this huckster. But right now we need our congressional seats, as many congressional seats in the House of Representatives as possible. As many Republicans as we could keep in there. That's what I want to do. And yeah, as much as I like Donald Trump, I would advise him to stop purging the House. Please, stop there. The Matt Gaetz maneuver, pretty strategic. I could talk more about that once we get a final decision on it. I like morality, Matt Gaetz, but there are some people that don't. We'll see how that plays out. I still predict what I predict about Alina Habba becoming Attorney General instead. But as I said, we'll see how that plays out. And you could refer to my previous video when I talk about morality Matt Gaetz. But our streets are crime-ridden with all these Democrats in place in New York. Crime runs rampant because of the Democrats. People know this and are doing nothing about it but defending them. They're in denial that crime runs rampant because of the Democrats. You gotta understand, Laken Riley is dead because of the Democrats. Well, that's not Joe Biden's. Yes, it is Joe Biden's fault. It's Kamala Harris's fault. It's Alejandro Mayorkas' fault. It's Chuck Schumer's fault for tabling the impeachment inquiry of Mayorkas. It's Huckster Hochul's fault because she's the governor of New York. Okay. It's the fault of Democratic district attorneys like Alvin Bragg, who know how to go after Trump, but will release Venezuelan gang members that beat up cops, who will release a person that ends up going all the way to Georgia to kill Laken Riley. Lest we forget that Eric Adams followed through with these asinine policies of the higher-ups in the Democratic Party. He followed through with it. He could have resisted. I would have resisted. I would have sat in a damn jail cell if I was committing some kind of federal crime. I would have martyred myself in my own jail if I was the mayor of New York and they wanted me to do something that hurts the people of New York. I would have looked out for my city and sat in my own jail and martyred myself for what was right. But no, he bitched a little bit about it, and he still threw him under the bus just for talking about it. But he still followed through. But that wasn't good enough. He was supposed to pretend to be enjoying himself about it. And because of all of this, not by his words that appease the right, but his actions that appease the left, Laken Riley lies dead. There you go. Democratic senator, Democratic governor, Democratic mayor, Democratic president, vice president, chief of Homeland Security, appointed by a Democrat. Crime runs rampant because of the Democrats. Rape, murder, burglary, armed robbery, child trafficking, drug smuggling, drug dealing, looting, assault and battery, assaulting a police officer, arson, billions of dollars of property damage because of the Democrats. Huckster Hochul has got to go. Schmuck Schumer has got to go. These are people who are put in place to uphold the law and to respect the law and look out for the best interest of their constituents and have no respect for the law and no respect for God. Respect God, watch out for the Illuminati, follow and share my content, stay strong, keep kicking that slang. It's your boy in the building, hip-hop legend, recording engineer, underground rock and roll hero, MC Too Tall.
and Blondie.